So, in this video, I'm about to share with you an interview that I probably shouldn't be sharing with you because you should probably be paying for this, but you are about to witness an interview of someone who's gone from literally nothing to something in the last few years. And to be honest, for me, this interview was inspiring because, the typical people in this online space is like, younger people, 20s and 23-year-olds who are killing it. But for me, what I like the most is seeing someone who's maybe started later in his life, but still accomplished great things. That's what's really good. Because if you're just young, let's say even me, okay, cool, I was 20 years old, I was living with my dad, started making a lot of money. Like, cool, okay, but where is the struggle, right? The struggle makes the story amazing. Of course, I've struggled a little bit, but I had the choice to struggle, right? So yeah, this interview is about to be really good. I did it with Vedank. He's someone who's in the French market, helping info businesses scale through paid acquisition. But what he's also mastered is the ability to create ridiculously good offers. I said that he's my twin in this interview because his offer, what he's done is essentially build what client acquisition.io is for service businesses for the info space in the French market. If you want to make it unreasonable for you not to be successful online, duplicate what client acquisition.io has done, and I promise you that you won't know where to put the money, right? He's had $160,000 months, and he's now running a seven-figure business. And he joined the program, I believe, 3-4 months ago. And after vacation, we were trying to follow up, trying to get this done, but I couldn't do it while I was traveling. But now we got to it and we got it done. Yeah, he also asked me a few questions about his situation. So I consulted him on what I would personally do in his if I was in his shoes. But if you are an info product agency and you're not killing it, you're not making 50K, 100K per month, I believe that the info space, it may not be the biggest industry, but it is probably the easiest niche to scale in, just because of how much leverage you have. People are selling courses. It's like, how can you not scale it to the moon if you have the right business unit, if you have the right unit economics, right? So it's like, if you are in the info space and you're not making a killer, please join our program and get your life together. Take care. Bye-bye. Enjoy this interview. All right. So today I have Vedank, and he's been a client for a few months now, and he's been killing it so much that he's actually he disappears every now and then. And I just thought I'd get him on this interview, on this pod, because I wanted this to be part of the Natural Born Leader podcast. So I'm going to be starting a podcast where I interview people who are killing it in business and looking to learn more about their story, but most importantly why they're successful, and what they can share with other people. So, but I'd love for you to introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah, of course. So first of all, thanks for having me here. So yeah, hello everyone. My name is Vedank, 32 years old, originally from India, living in Dubai, but I grew up in Belgium. So obviously French is my main speaking language. I run an info product growth agency, which means that we do everything related to info product. We can even create a course from scratch, script the ads, record the ads, run the funnels, the ads, obviously, all the emails and stuff. And we sell this as a done for you solution, plug and play done for you solution, right? So I operate in the French speaking market. We have an awesome team of 14 experts. I was a media buyer before. So for 3 years, I started by working as a freelancer for an info product guy. That's how I got into space.
Yeah.
And at some point I was like, hey, let's set up an SMMA. So that's where I joined Serge in his program, which is amazing. And yeah, I love to share from there, actually.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. How did you get into media buying? Isn't that what got you into it?
Yeah. So, I wasn't really the best at school, but I've always been interested into marketing. And when I was working at, I started by working at Domino's Pizza, basically, so I was cooking in the kitchen and I was accumulating this with another job, which was in a pawn shop. And I was always interested into marketing, hey, why Rolex prices are so high, right? And that's where I was into marketing. And at some point, when you just go on YouTube and you end up being like targeted, you watch marketing videos, you end up being targeted by different ads. Then, yeah, I understood that actually info product is a real business, because I was guessing that those guys running ads had a lot of money. And I started to reach out to different people, right? In the French space, I was like, hey, I know how to run Facebook ads. I know how to run YouTube ads. I can get results. How about I run your ads for free, and if you're happy, you pay me, right? And this is how it started, basically. So, yeah.
So because one thing that that a lot of people have a hard time with is they'll try to figure out everything before they get started. Did you have to wait for you to know how to actually run Facebook ad or YouTube ads to get clients?
No, bro. If I tell you, if I go into the details, so basically, I was just like, hey, how can I make some money online, right? And I started by building websites. I didn't know at that time how I can build websites, and I was working in a pawn shop. Some business owners were coming to me, and I was like, hey, do you have a website? I can get you a website, right? So I started by doing websites, and I just found a website called Fiverr that obviously it was back in 2017.
Yeah.
And I was basically hiring people from Fiverr to create websites. And then, same thing for the media buying stuff. I was like, you know what, I'm going to reach out to clients, and to a couple of clients. And suddenly one of them said, hey, yes, okay, let's go. I need a YouTube ads expert, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I don't know anything about YouTube ads. What I'm going to do? So what I did is I partnered with someone. I just went on Upwork and Fiverr, sent a couple of messages. I had someone who was an Indian, obviously, and I just said, hey, I don't have the money to pay you now, but I have like a big deal for you. I have a client. I know that if I get him results, he will probably pay me anything between 2 to 3K euros a month, and I'll be sharing like 50% of that with you if we succeed, right? And so this is how I got started. I got the client, I would say, closed, even if it was for free. On the other hand, I got my Indian guy, and we were sitting on Zoom for hours, and he was doing all this stuff in the the ads manager, and I was watching. Yeah.
Nice. I love it. And now you've mostly transitioned to becoming. What made you want to transition from being a media buyer to starting a business? Like, what was the reasoning behind it?
So this infrared guy, he gave me like the change of my life, I would say, right? Because he trusted me, and at some point, he's a business owner, right? So he knows how to set up businesses, and he had like a very nice community, and he sent me a couple of clients, right? Like literally 9 clients came, and he was taking 50% of the deal, right? But at the end of the day, I was still making a lot of money. Even, at that time I was working in a bank, even more than at the bank, because I transitioned from Domino's to the bank. And I was like, okay, now I know how to get those people results. I don't want to be stuck into in the business managers, and the only way I can do this is to take the 50% back, right, and invest into a team.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where I started like having some conversations with this guy, right? And he was like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna send you more clients, and it will fix your issue, right? So he didn't want to drop the 50%, and I was like, okay, let's do it. And it like we played around like for a couple of months, and then suddenly he had to drop a couple of he lost his focus basically, right, on his main business, right? The one thing he wasn't focusing on his main business, because he was like his focus was across like different things. Our agency was part of this, and he decided to shut down kind of like everything, right? And what happened at that time, I left Belgium because I started to make some money, like 20K per month in revenue, and I had like almost 8K in profit. I was like, let's go to Dubai. And so suddenly, when we decided to started
Good
collaborations.
times? Yeah.
Yeah, like 80% of the client left, right?
Fuck.
Even though if I was making an amazing job because he was the mentor, he was the guy. He's kind of like Sam Owens in France, right?
Mm.
So he has a lot of influence on his community, and I guess he just found like another agency. That's what happened actually. He found another agency with a nice setup,
Yeah.
and he could take like 30% without having to do anything. So he decided to switch. And bro, I was in Dubai. You know how expensive Dubai is, right? Like even a
Mhm.
taxi driver is making 2K, right? I mean, you have to get some money if you don't want to,
Yeah.
right? End up
Yeah.
in a bad position. And I was like, fuck, what I'm gonna do. And bro, I started like reaching out as crazy to to everyone.
Mhm.
I was alone with this Indian media buyer. We were two of us, right? So
Yeah.
I was getting the leads, closing them, putting them into the agency, but at the same time, the guy wasn't speaking French, so he was doing the technical stuff, and I had
Oh,
to do the looms and clients management, right?
yeah.
But we did 50K in a month, right?
Wow.
Which is
Well,
amazing,
wait, let's
right?
backtrack, because okay,
Yeah,
you can't just go from losing the source of all your clients and
yeah,
being almost losing all the clients and then going back to 50K. Could you
yeah,
could you let people know like, hey, what did you actually do? This was
yeah.
after you joined the program, or was it before?
Before I joined the program, after,
Okay, yeah. So what
right?
did you do exactly to go reach out to clients? So you're in the French market, just for context. So
Yeah,
uh, some of what you do is may not work the same, right?
yeah,
So what did you do?
exactly.
Let's say like you just lost all your clients. You're in Dubai. You gotta make money. You gotta
Yeah.
survive. Where did you go and find those leads?
So, what I did is I had, you know, I was into different Facebook groups, right? And I just started putting some posts like, "Hey,
Mm,
these are my results, right? This is what I've been able to achieve so far in the info product space. Um, and I would love to help like more people and set up an agency. So if you need any media buyer and you want to hit good results, just comment this post basically. And some people reach out to me, right? So
yeah.
I got so my model was, hey, you know what? I'm gonna offer you like a paid trial, right? Because I didn't have any online presence. People didn't know me, right? I was just a random guy sitting in Dubai with his laptop, and
Yeah.
I needed to make some money. So what I did was, hey, you know what? You would just pay. So if I get you results, you're gonna pay 2.5K, right? And the results, obviously, it was custom made, but it was kind of like having a guarantee. And it was, let's say, the goal was to hit, let's say, 5K in sales for these info product clients, right? I was like, okay, you know what? You're just gonna put like a $500 deposit, and at the end of the month, if I hit the goal, then you're gonna pay me back, right? So this was the plan. So it was quite easy
Mhm.
to close and to move fast because in the
Nice.
French market, people just come with a basic pricing structure, right? And
What does that mean?
I, basic pricing structure means that as the market is not that sophisticated,
Hmm.
people don't come up with guarantees, ROAS deals. They just have
Mm.
some flat fees. And the way they price their offer is they just look around, take a look at the competitors, and try to be the
And then
cheaper,
try the same.
right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for instance, yeah. So this got me a couple of leads. And what I did was I also reached out to a couple of people I knew in the industry. I had their WhatsApp,
Hmm.
and I just told them, hey, you know what? I need to get some clients. This is what I can offer. And if you send me a client who actually take a retainer, I'll be giving you 30% as a commission, right?
Mm.
If that makes
Nice.
sense. So this was the plan, leveraging their communities, and I went crazy on this, right? At the same time, I was quite lucky because in February you had some NFT projects, right? And I was like, hey, how can I make some money fast without going where everyone is? Everyone is in ecom, right?
Hmm.
And I just started to, randomly go on IG before actually knowing what you were doing. Go on IG randomly and trying to reach out to some people on Twitter as well to get some NFT projects. So that's how I made like these 50K in a month, because in the NFT space, they had like some good money to invest, and obviously they don't want to miss their mint. They don't want to miss they wanted to sell out. So the goal here was to get them leads, and it was quite easy to just put a high retainer on them, right? But
so you were getting so you were driving traffic for NFT projects?
Yeah, this is something I did as well at that time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So just sending, just running Facebook ads, YouTube ads, and sending people to a landing page with a Discord button, right? And
just
that's it.
Growing that community. Okay.
Growing their community, yeah.
Nice. That could be a great offer for some people, by the way, watching this. I think that, of course, maybe the crypto and the NFT space now is a little bit of a slow market, but I think if it picks back up again, I think you could create an offer like, hey, we'll grow your audience from all the people who would be interested in your brand by running some ads.
Definitely. Yeah. And the thing is, we tried just to give some insights and value to your community as well. The reason why we were able to charge such a high price in the NFT industry is because we were promising them a certain number of leads, right? If that makes sense. Obviously, because you don't have any tracking, right? If you know about media buying, you cannot track. You don't have any thank you page. They had like a specific link, right, which was only dedicated to our ads, and then it's easy. You just take the ad spend divided by the number of people who joined through this link.
Through that link,
right? Yeah, and this is how we kept the tracking, and we just pumped the package with some advices about how they can optimize their website, their white paper, the copy in the white paper, how they can put some scarcity in the community as well into Discord. And did some consulting as well, right?
Nice. A lot of people did make a lot of money off of NFTs, right? Especially service providers who are like helping these brands build their product or do the launch. They're charging crazy, but because it's people doing these NFTs or people with money, right? They're just trying to make. It's like they're saying no to a few $100,000 to say yes to a few $1 million, right? So they don't really care about spending multiple 5 figures or $100,000.
Of course, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, cool, perfect. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you got to 50K, and then what was next?
So in those 50K, we had, let's say, 3 NFT projects, right? And those are one-shot projects, no retainers, because obviously after the mint they will just disappear. So what I did was I was like, hey, I don't want to get to repeat the same mistake. Now I should get a team. And I just started to shoot some message on Upwork, Fiverr, French communities to get more media buyers and try to structure a team, right? So I still had some retainers. Now we're back at roughly 30K a month, which is quite good, right? And that's where I started to structure my team, try to structure my team actually. So you have to be aware of the fact that when you're trying to run an online business in the French industry, you don't have a lot of talents. You don't have a large pool of talents, if you know what I mean, right? Ready to go talents, right? And I wasn't aware of that because I was used to work with people from the Philippines or from India or Pakistan, right? And in those countries, they're very happy with 1.5K or while a guy from France will not touch an ad account if you don't offer him at least 1K, right? Per account. So I was like, man. So what happened is I was in a position where I was pricing, let's say, 1.8K, 2K a month, and the media buyer was eating 1.2K per account. And I was like, okay, I think I guess this is not the way how I'll be able to scale and make some money, right?
Yeah.
And so I tried a couple of things. Long story short, I tried different structures, hiring some, kind of like luxury VAs that I will train as CSMs to manage the customers with the Indian media buyer in the backend to have like a better pricing structure. Didn't work, right? Client experience wasn't the best. So I tried like to hire people who like tried to succeed in drop shipping but didn't, to teach them about info product and to hire them as a media buyer worked better, right? Because they didn't have the freelancer experience, and communication barrier as well. And that's how, like, this is where I understood that, okay, you know what, if I want to build out an agency in the French market, the only way I would be able to do it will be by either charging like very high price, providing more value and being able to pay, a media buyer, let's say even 2K per account, or to like keep the same pricing structure for my clients. So let's say 2.5K or 3K per month. And on the other hand, take a media buyer that I will train, like someone who already has like a basic knowledge of media buying, and train him into being a machine in the info product space, right? Because obviously, as I'll be giving him a chance and the experience, then he might be more loyal, right?
Yeah.
And committed to the company culture as well, right?
Yeah.
So what I did at that time, just to tell you, because I think that team structure is a big thing, was I just took the time to, like, I wasn't really reaching out to clients at that time. I just had like a couple of contracts signed for 3 months. So obviously I knew that I'll be staying at, let's say, 20 to 30K per month for the next 3 months, because the deals were signed and we had some 3 months contract. And I spent some time like building our systems, right, to make sure that whenever I hire someone, they can meet our standards and also like understand how to work in the info product space and how to get our clients results, right? Then after this, so that's where I joined your program actually, right? After having like a good structure, I was like, hey, you know what? It's nice to have some referrals, because we were also able to leverage some referrals within our clients community. But it wasn't enough, right? It wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, okay, I need to find something. What can I do? And that's where I found you, right?
Yeah. Where did you find me? Was it on YouTube, or did I reach out to you?
No, YouTube. So, I was watching some SMA guys, right? I won't give any name, and I just found you. I was like, hey, let's have a look, right?
Yeah.
And then you
Nice.
you entered into my head, and I was like, hey, I want to see what's happening on the other side.
What was the thing that got your curiosity about me and about what we do? Like, what was it?
So I knew that. So what I understood is that outreach is something that is needed as an agency, or let's put it in that way. Like, getting attention is something you need, right? And you were very focused on how you can get attention at scale, right? While in some other programs, they will just teach you how to send some cold looms, but you will, like, if you spend all day sending looms, maybe you will hit like 80 looms per day, and that's it, right? It's not.
Yeah.
And and I was like, hey, you know what? I had some big goals, because obviously I was in Dubai, and if you're not making at least, I would say, 15 to 20K in profit in Dubai, there is no point like of staying in Dubai, right? It's better to go back in the home country. So I also had this scarcity about, hey, I need to get something done because I want to stay here. And that's where I decided to join. I was like, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, at that time, I think, I was like, hey, you know what? If I sign 2 clients, it's gonna pay off, right? So let's do it.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah,
cool. And how have things changed since? Because you've been doing a lot of things. Would you like to share people just like how much revenue you're doing today? Because, and I'd love to go over like what exactly are you doing now and how you've structured things, because you've also launched a new offer, and I'd love to go a little bit deep. So like you joined the program, maybe I think you were probably like almost 30K, 34K a month, right?
Yeah, 30, 34, yeah.
So yeah, so now what kind of numbers are you doing?
So like this month has been closed at 86, right? 86K euros a month.
Nice.
Yeah, but like, you know, around Black Friday and the end of the year, we had like some crazy months.
Like
Because
give us the numbers. You gotta tell us the numbers. We love numbers.
yeah, we had 1 month at 160K, right?
Fucking hell.
Yeah, and the reason behind this is because you know, we first of all, so all the rest, it was the month of December, and all the rest deals of November, because we came with a Black Friday strategy, even if it's for e-com in the info product space,
Nice.
with some rest deals. And also, you know, people in European countries, if at the end of the year, they want to avoid taxes, right? So we just sent some new contracts, and we just gave them like a 10% discount if they would pay like 4 months upfront, right?
Wow.
So yeah, we had a lot of cash collected. That's why. But yeah, right now we have you know, 48 clients in the info product space. Now for the last batch of clients, they're all on the same pricing, but obviously before that, you know, it was all over the place, because when we started, we were, you know, charging 900, sometimes 1.5K, sometimes 2K, and now we just have one offer, and either you fit in the box and you take the offer, either you don't, but then we cannot work with you, right? That's how because we systemize things. So yeah, I can tell you what happened maybe, because it's interesting. Please. Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, when I was at 30K a month, I had clients like in kind of like, it was in lead gen, but I had some clients, let's say, who were plumbers, some other were taxi drivers, some other were info products, right? Some other were restaurants.
Yeah.
It was a shit show, man, because you know how it is, right? Like, you don't have any systems. You just do new things every single day, and you don't really have any process, right? Because at that time I needed some money, whatever, you know, I mean, I needed some money, so I would take every single lead, like, you know. Now what happened is that at some point I was like, hey, okay, the majority of my clients are in the info product space, and I need to find a way to make it more efficient, to make our agency more efficient for them. Because if you only like you know, the French market is way less competitive than the English speaking market, right? So I know that in the English speaking market, in the info product space, you have to be like very, very sharp and have like a very, very sharp offer, right? In the French speaking market, we have this competitive advantage where, you know, as I said, people are just charging flat prices. There is no guarantee, there is no bonuses, there is no, like, the perceived value is very low. So it's easy to just change, because to change from an agency to another, because at the end of the day, you're just a commodity, right?
Yep.
So I worked on, hey, how can I remove the fear of, you know, having a client leaving the agency? How can I make our agency so good that the guy will never want to leave, right? And I just worked on creating an offer, and this is very, very important, like whatever, you know, your niche is. But at the end of the day, I understood that our clients, they don't care about what you're doing, they just want to make money, right? So they don't care about if you are running Google ads or Facebook ads, or if you need to create new images or creatives or whatever. They don't really care. They just want to make a return on investment. So I was like, hey, how can I remove all the friction and make sure the guy focuses on his coaching and sales calls, while we'll be taking care of the other things. So that's how I crafted my offer, right? So we shifted from just being a media buying agency to an agency that comes with a system where we have, we have 4 funnels optimized. You can just pick one. We'll create it for you, right? Do you want me to go that deep in the offer? Or is too much details? It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
So very,
please.
very, very important. So we create the funnels for the clients, right? We copyright them. Let's say it's a VSL funnel, right? So you will have the landing page, right? Even the video, the VSL video, we'll script it for the client, right?
Wow.
We'll edit it, upload it, create all the email follow-up sequences, set up all the Zapiers, the active campaign accounts, all the automations and integrations in their Slack, the payment gateways, like even like creating the ad scripts. So they just have to take a prompter and read it in front of the camera, edit the ads, right? All the ad copies. So it's like a done for you solution, right? And in that way, the only thing the guy has to do is, just take the camera and follow our scripts, give us the video, and take the calls, right? So we removed all the acquisition friction because we were taking care of everything. And as they are using our systems, right, we are giving them a guarantee as well, right?
Yeah.
So this is how we change the offer. So obviously, I mean, it worked for 80% of our clients who are in the 3K a month retainer. Now we have some big clients as well. We have one client who is paying like 22K a month, right? I'll come to this, but this works for the majority of the market. Now we have some premium clients who cannot fit into the box because they already have their funnels, right?
Yeah.
For those, we still have we will still do everything, but we will not attach a funnel to it, if that makes sense, right? So we will be taking care of the ad scripts, the emails, like the editing the ads, running the ads, optimizing the funnel, but no funnel creation for them, for instance, because they already have a system which is working. But of course, if they need a funnel, then we'll have an upsell, right?
Yeah.
But my point is, we shifted the value perception from being a media buyer agency, from being a full stack marketing agency, like a growth partner for info products.
Right? I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And I think that, of course, I don't necessarily recommend everyone to like, you're starting out and then you're going to do what Vedank is doing. But, if you really think about it, that's the same mindset that I've personally taken into scaling, the acquisition or building the acquisition side of things for agencies or for anyone running an online service business. Because I realized that I could build your acquisition team, but if your offer is shitty, there's no point. So I was like, I can't just build appointment setting mechanisms for people. I actually need to also solve for their offer creation, right?
Yeah.
And it's only when we started really giving people like offers that are proven, or at least consulting people on their offer. Because if you have the right offer, you have the acquisition team, and you also are getting consulting on how to scale your fulfillment, why wouldn't you make money? There's no thing left to solve for, right? So I think that's also like the reasoning behind our success personally.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course.
But
of course.
Yeah, no, please keep going. So how do you, I guess, I know you just said you have clients around 3K and another one at 22K. I guess the 22K is mostly on performance, right? A big chunk comes for performance.
So it's the 22.5K is the base retainer, and we also have a 5% performance fee. Yeah.
How much money are they making a month?
So they're making 600K a month.
Interesting.
With their profit. Yeah.
So that means they don't really have an internal marketing team too, because they can't afford 22K on an agency and then another. Do they have an internal team, or is it mainly you guys who manage it?
They have an internal team, but this is how we pitch them, right? So the issue is that, when you are in the info product space, and obviously you are making more than, let's say, 250K a month, obviously most of those guys, they have in-house teams, right? Because it's easier and faster. But at some point their creativity will dry out, if that makes sense. While we, as an agency, handling almost 50, different accounts, we see different things every single day, right? We have 14 people in the team, and we do, in French, we call this, it's kind of like a mastermind. We do this weekly calls where we just exchange value, right?
Yeah.
And this is how I closed them. I was like, hey, why you won't be able to. So my promise for them was, hey, we're going to increase the profit, which means making you more money with less ad spend. Because when we stepped into the accounts, they were investing, almost 150k euros a month in ads. Very bad tracking structure, just putting money, no emails were ending up in spam. So it was easy for me to show them what they're missing out and how we can make them profitable. And how I closed the client was, because obviously, the guy has a team. Those are full-time employees. It's difficult to put them aside. You don't know what you're going to do with them. And I just invited them to one of our internal mastermind calls, right? Just so they can feel the energy and how we will solve our clients' problems and how we can unlock the situations and stuff, right? So now, behind the 22.5k, there is a lot of work involved, because there is like, almost one funnel every single month that is being designed for them. We are running ads on every single platform. We are creating the ads as well. I would say, it's still a good profit margin on them. Like we have almost 70% on them. Nice. But my point is, depending on the revenue they're making, it doesn't make any sense,
to charge less, or even I know 100%. I mean, that's why a lot of people say that, if you want to really make a lot of money, like without doing much work, it's just go charge people who are already making a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't care how good you are at your skill, if you were to come and try to sell me as a client when I was making like 10k a month, it's like, I could have only paid you so much, right? But today, if you come and sell me the same thing and you give me a price, I'll be like, okay, well, it makes sense, just because I'm making more money. But it's not necessarily because the value is actually more. But yeah, no, quick question, because I'm also, I think in the next, and maybe you can also give me advice on this, in the next few months, I'd love to start driving to buying traffic, but not necessarily to book calls. But I feel like for me, the biggest leverage that I will get, or the biggest thing that I could do, is to spend money to gain awareness, like to just put our brand in front of more people. Because, with our growth specialists, I think converting attention is easy, right? So like, what platform would you suggest? Would you still suggest me Facebook? Would you tell me to jump into a little bit of YouTube? Based on like your clients and, your industry might be a little different because you're in French speaking market, but I think the platforms work the same. What advice would you give me?
So what I would say is run like what they call a social funnel, right? So we are running this for a couple of clients. So you run ads. So basically you run Facebook ads, but you send people to your Facebook, to your Instagram profile, right? So the conversion is basically someone interacting with your stuff or following you, right? And you want to really, I think you already did this, but make sure your profile looks like a funnel, right? And this is the first ad we will run, right? Now, everything is happening into DMs, so you want to make sure that people end up sending you DMs, right? So this is something that's working very, very well for our clients right now. The other thing is a Facebook group, right? So sending traffic to a Facebook group. Now, there is two ways to do this. Either like some people just put the Facebook group link in their ad, and obviously you will not collect any data, or you send them to a landing page where they opt in, email, phone number, first name, last name, click
And
on it,
then they get in.
join the group. Yeah, and you have a
Yeah.
small VSL with the value. And you can also call them if they leave the phone number. This is what our clients are doing as well. Otherwise, another, this is what I will do. Those are the easy one.
Yeah.
Now, otherwise, what you can do is basically just run like self, liquidation offer. Like you put a product up front, $7.
Yeah.
Then you know how it is, right?
I know. I personally like to keep everything free, you know. But
Yeah.
I understand the $7. Yeah. Would you run ads to let's say right now, I'm actually running one right now. I'm spending like $100 a day on my Facebook.
Yeah.
But I'm I'm doing like a through plays as the thing. And I'm trying to I'm going to retarget them with like an offer. So everyone who's like kind of like watched 15 seconds or more of my video, I'm going to retarget them with like, hey, go check out this, or hey, get access. So right now I'm probably just getting like 0.02 cents per person who watches 15 seconds or more. I've gotten 500,000 views and I've only spent like $1,000 in like the last 12 days. Right.
Yeah.
So would you suggest, but I'm not necessarily driving them to like, hey, DM me. Would you suggest driving a DM ad on the top, or would you suggest I drive traffic to a good audience and then I retarget the ones who've watched 15 seconds or more with the DM, like, hey, DM me to get access to this asset? Or would you do the DM on the top?
No, what I will do is set a DM on the second step, but you can split test it, right? With something like trying to get them in a group instead of DM, right? You know what I mean? And the DM should be related to something they can get. Like if you can have a video like, hey, I don't know, you have like a bulletproof cheat sheet or a method, right? They can get in the DM. And then you know how to start convo, so I'm not gonna tell you. But
yeah, no, I'll do it. But yeah, because before and maybe we can talk a little bit about ads, but one of the things that I realized recently is that it's the old way of like paying money for a landing page to watch a VSL to book a call. Like, I don't know how most people who aren't charging at least 10, 15 grand even fucking make money. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe you must be like, maybe if Donald Trump put out a VSL, maybe the conversion would be high, but it's like, bro, I've looked at the cost, and for me, I'm like, it's not worth running ads, man. Like it gets crazy expensive really fast. So
yeah,
I think this content strategy where it's like you're actually leveraging content to get awareness, and then whoever shows attention to the whatever you're talking to, then you give them an offer first. It's mostly it's like kind of like looking at the like just the organic way you found me, right? So like you checked out my content, you're like, oh shit, this is interesting, let me book a call. Nobody tried to book you in, and then you bought, right? So it's like finding that organic funnel, but like doing it through paid is like is something that I'm seeing a lot of people try to do, right? Or at least this is what I would personally try to do, because the cost to get the content viewed is really nothing, right?
Yeah. It's all about the know, like, and trust, right? So you have to get into their head. And like for some of our clients, we are even like just running the VSL in the ad, right? You don't have to opt in. And then, if you watch the VSL, then you see the retargeting call ad. So yeah, because it's getting challenging, So yeah, but I would say that if you provide enough value upfront, and that's why I recommend having them in a place like a Facebook group where they can, get in movement or whatever. Then I think it's gonna be way easier.
100%. Do you create communities for your clients?
We did. So the funny thing is, and this might interest you. So when I joined your program, I was like, hey, like I'm not going to create the SFC offer, right?
Yeah.
And now that I have like a base of almost 50 clients, I was like, hey, okay, how can I serve them better? And we created an SFC agency, and this one is linked to a community. So we have our info product agency, but we connected like an SFC agency as well, right?
Nice.
Serving inner clients.
Yeah.
And in this SFC offer, we deliver the community creation as well, right?
Let's go. Did you watch the webinar that I did in December, or not yet?
Not yet. No.
Yeah. Yeah, check it out, man. It's good. It's good. It will give you some good sauce. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
No, I think. Oh my God, if you really pack that down, content to converting the attention into a community, but you also attach a paid acquisition, ads, funnels, all that good stuff. You have a $1 million a month agency. Like, I'm actually being honest, and I'm like, I'm fucking being serious. And not only that, because once you've built the framework, you don't need to necessarily. You could literally like be like, hey, I don't want to walk with you if you're not already doing 100K a month, right? Yeah. And then everyone doing less than that, you send them to a productized, done with you model where they come in, you build a funnel, you plug and play, and then you keep them with support, right? But then if they figure out how to get to 6 figures a month, then you're like, hey, let's actually take you guys on. We'll take care of your content, we'll take care of building your community, and it will also take care of, because content, short form content and ads just does really the same thing. It's all about impressions. This does it organically. This does it by paying for the thing, right? But you guys also have the art of converting, right? Copy, via sales, all that good stuff. So it's like you could build like an arc where people come in. Let's say you have a lot of people in the info space who don't really have a lot of money to pay your retainers every month, who could at least pay 10 grand one time to join your program, and then you plug and play the same thing you do done for you. But if they go through this machine, and then let's say like you, as an example, you are a client who's scaled from 30K to 86K a month, right? If I wanted to sell you something more expensive, you would be the best ideal client, where I would work with you one-on-one and we could build this productized product, right? And we scale to $500,000 a month, while your two agencies still are doing another fucking $500,000 a month, by the way.
Yeah.
Because this, so it's like you've built something that works. Now the goal is you could keep scaling because the recurring money is good, but scale happens when something is standardized, which you've noticed, right? Before you had all these clients from all these different niches, so it's hard to scale. I don't care if you're good at everything. It's like every time you have to repeat the same thing. No, do something where you could literally do it with your eyes closed, and then whoever needs personalized attention, you just increase the price because your time is dependent on your money, right? But anyway, that's just a little tangent. Yeah. But yeah, no, great work, man.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's the next challenge, being able to increase the retainer for like a customized service, all right? And basically have like a done for you hybrid kind of program, like done for you, done with you, like with the community behind and something like this. So this is what I'm thinking about, right? Obviously it's going to be after the daily delivery, but I really want to change the info product game, man, and that's the most important thing, At the end of the day, my plan is, I don't know how this show is called in English, but there is this thing where people come and sing, and if you like how they sing, you just press a button and your chair turns, right?
Yeah, I know the game, the thing.
Yeah, I want to do the same thing with info product. Like we have a full team of experts. You just come and pitch your project. If we feel it's a good project, then we fund you. We do everything, right? And we just launch and take like a profit share on your offer. And even if you're shy in front of the camera, we should be able to hire a French-speaking actor.
Let's go. That would be insane. Yeah. That would be crazy. Yeah. That's sick, man. No, great. You've been killing it, man. And I know you just briefly mentioned it, but Vedank is actually having a baby this upcoming week. How are you feeling about that? How is going to bed and waking up every morning when you have a kid coming in a few days?
Yeah, so it's weird because I wish I'm like first of all, I was stressed, and I wish that I had started like before, because I was still in a 9 to 5 until I was like 29 years old, and now I'm 32, right? And I'm like, fuck, why didn't I start earlier, right? Because in my dream vision, right, I wanted to have a family where I'd be sitting at the palm in Dubai with a cigar and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But life always have some surprises for you, right? So I'm like, okay, now it's gonna be about making the most out of my time and work smarter, not harder, right? And like literally, it's kind of like putting some scarcity, because I don't want to work as crazy when I'll be like 40 years old. So I have like 8 years to achieve everything I need to do.
Yeah.
And that's what's really interesting in your program. And I need to get into these modules, right? But I think I need a growth team. I need a team of experts, like people who want to join like the vision and the mission and ride. Because obviously, if you want to create big things, you won't be able to do it alone, right?
Yeah, you need good people.
Yeah. So it's like being conscious about the fact that now I have like a responsibility, that, I didn't really tap into the emotion yet, because I don't, I never met my child before, right? So I don't know how
nothing
it's
has
gonna be.
changed yet. Yeah.
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 But yeah, I mean, I just want to, create like a legacy and make sure that I keep him proud. So that's also like a big motivation, man.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I can't imagine the type of motivation you tap into when you have a kid. Because now it's not just about you, man. Now it's not just about you and your cigar. Now it's about you and your kid, So it's like it's in your family. It's about you're doing it for someone else. And I feel like I think that's why most people who are successful become successful later in life, because it's not about selfish reasons anymore. It's about you. Let me do the best for the people that I love, and let me leave them with something that's great. Because when you're doing it just for yourself, man, you're making 80 grand a month, 100 grand a month and more. You tap into a level where it's like making more money is not really going to change you. It's like, it's not going to change your life. It's not going to, but if you realize that like, oh shit, now I have a bunch of kids that I need to provide a good life to, and my wife and their future. It's like, wow, now maybe 50K a month isn't really, it's like, yeah, it's good. Maybe a few kids, a few cars, few trips. It's like, boom, bro, like you're going back to broke technically, right? So now you're like, fuck, I need like $500,000 a month. And then you're like, oh shit, I need to scale this to further. But no, man, congrats. And I think,
thank you.
I think for me personally, like, having a kid is probably just like one of the best form of success, so it's like,
yeah,
you're good. Yeah, no, but you've been putting in the work, man. So it's like, it's not, you now understood. And I think that what this will help you do is that it will help you understand how to actually like force yourself to be removed from the business, right? So it will like add constraints. So it's like, now you could have worked 10 hours in a day or thought about business 10 hours in a day, but now you're going to have to do it maybe in like 4 hours, right? So now you're going to become literally smarter, because now you have constraints. Most people never give themselves constraints. They just be like, oh, I have the next year to make money. It's like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't have a year. Give yourself this week to build the thing, another week to promote the thing, and another thing to convert the attention. So it's like, the more constraint you have, the better you perform, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
I think it's a big one. So like, I would say, I will put it like I will try to put some words on it, but it's like, it helps you to kill the little bitch you have inside, right? Because now you have a reason, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Can't be a little bitch, like, it's done.
Yeah, of course.
I have no excuses. Yeah.
Of course,
cool.
man. Of course.
I know you had questions before we started the call, so yeah, would love to jump into them.
Yeah. So I have a couple of questions. So right now, my vision, right? We already spoke about this, that at some point I want to go into the Indian speaking market and like just leverage like media buyers from there, teach them, and go crazy in the English speaking market with them, right?
Yep.
But I understood the fact that getting like with the system I have right now, it's smarter to get some cash flow in the French speaking market because the English speaking market is more competitive, right? So
Yep.
now I feel like I need to build like the SFC offer, like the acquisition flow better, hire some team and stuff. But my capacity to scale is directly linked to the capacity of hiring new experts / media buyers in the French speaking market, which is a really tough challenge, right?
Yeah, I know.
So like how would you do if you had to do it, right? If let's say you have a line of 10 clients waiting, but you cannot find anyone. Right.
Yeah. So do you want to, so okay, your question is you have 10 clients, but are they French speaking clients or are they English speaking clients?
Yeah, French speaking clients. And I can get more clients even, but I cannot get anyone to serve them, right? And the issue is the media buyer, like the CSM or the media buyer who needs to speak French to serve them, and I cannot find them easily. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so the first thing you ask, like your long-term goal is to get into the Indian market and just train media buyers and place them or leverage them. But is your short-term goal to still like, I guess your short-term goal would be to build a bigger team of experts in the French market and actually scale your fulfillment, right?
Yeah.
I think you're just going to go have to tap into French-speaking third world countries. So instead of going India first, spend time and find in Africa, there's a lot of countries where they speak French. So as an example, I was in Cape Town with my client, Justin, and one of his, manager is from Mauritius and he speaks French because Justin has a lot of clients in Quebec. So literally you're going to need to build a pool, just like you build, like for me, like I have a Facebook group of like 8,000 Filipinos, right? So it's like, I've built that infrastructure there, right? So I have like, when people like we have ways to acquire attention. Even one of my team members has a TikTok channel where she is like, she's getting like 40,000 views. She's driving that traffic back to people who want to get jobs. Back to the Facebook group, we have a application funnel where they'll apply to get a free course, go through the course. Once they go through the course, they'll have a button to click to book an assessment call. We'll assess if they've actually gone through the material. If they've gone through the material, then we'll push them as being a candidate, and then we'll shadow them on a call and just figure out what they're doing, right? So what you would do is you would do the same thing. You would try to find Facebook groups, French-speaking countries, third world countries, where that you should like literally go on Google or ask ChatGPT, like, hey, what are the top 10 countries that speak French, where they also the average wage is like, I don't know, $500 or $1,000 a month, right? And then look at those countries and find Facebook groups or literally like job sites where those people would be, right? And then you literally want to build an application funnel with like, hey, would you like to be trained? Would you like this, right? And then drive traffic to it, and then just grow a community for those people, and just start dropping free gems after gems. Because you're gonna need a big pool of people, right? Especially because training media buyer, you need a certain type of individual. It's not everybody who just learns, okay, this is this. No, they kind of like have to be, people can think, people can understand things.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's a smart idea. Like, yeah, this is a smart idea. Like, to be honest, I feel like in the French market, having an accent is a challenge, right? So I had like a guy from Morocco, but a client will tell me, because how sometimes French people are stupid. They will be like, hey, I'm paying like 4K and you're giving me like someone with speaking with a Moroccan accent. It's not serious, right? They directly link the quality to it. So I was like, fuck, I need to find a way. But this would be a good option. Or I thought about finding a better way to have like a CSM who understands, someone just managing client facing with a media buyer connected. But in the past, the fulfillment didn't work as well because there is a big latency in the communication, if that makes sense, right? So I feel like having the media buyer connected directly to the client is still the best way to do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Man,
Have you thought of
yeah?
Have you thought of looking in Quebec? Talent here?
No.
You should look into it. You could find good people, and I think euro, Canadian dollars, it could still be more affordable, and you could still get pretty great talent. It's just that it's the same thing. There isn't really a lot of media buyers in Canada, right? Canada is also pretty slow, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for the answer. I had another question, more related to fulfillment, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, for now, I don't really have like an operation manager, right? So everyone, media buyers are serving clients, which means that the agency, like the clients are being fulfilled, they are being taken care of. But obviously, if I need a couple of people to focus on growing the agency projects, like creating new funnels, helping on the offers and stuff, right? So the other question I had for you is, how would you go about hiring like an operation manager or CMO or whatever it is, or like kind of like a manager, right?
Yeah. I think you really have to look at two things. I don't think a CMO and I think you need a CMO and an operations manager because those two people are different. An operations manager, I just recently found a good one, and maybe I can tell about how I found him because I think it's super important on trying to look at the cause of things. So I was working a 9-to-5. My last 9-to-5 was in an e-commerce company, and I was working with this guy. His name is Gilles, and I just noticed that he was just better at managing people. He was just doing the quality assurance. He was doing the one-on-ones with his people under him. While I was also a team lead back then, but I wasn't really doing a lot of my one-on-ones, or I wasn't really a quality assurance, or like I wasn't a detail-oriented person, right? But he was. So over the last 6 months, I've probably gone through like 3 operations people. Hire them, fire them, hire them, fire them, hire them, fire them. Literally, I would hire someone and I would have more work after they've been hired than I did before they were hired. So I was like, what the fuck is going on? What are you doing on this team? Like please leave, right? But then I was like, you know what? Let me actually try to find people with experience in managing people, right? Because you need someone who understands management. You need someone who understands compensation. You need someone who understands all the little things that's not necessarily specific to your service delivery.
Yeah.
Because service delivery can be taught, but you need someone who can deal with people. People problems is going to kill your business so hard, right? So I think the first thing you need is you need someone who cares about speed of communication. Make sure your clients are being paid attention to, but also your employees are being taken care of. You need someone who can be between you and your employees so they can go back to him or her and be like, hey, this is happening. I'm not happy with my pay. I'm not this, blah, blah, blah. All those little intricacies, right? So for me, I would try to figure out hey, who is someone who's worked and regular 9-to-5, maybe in a management position, and try to find someone who has some also understanding of the agency info e-com space. You kind of still need them to understand the world, because if you get them too removed and they're just too much on the traditional 9-to-5 environment, they're not also gonna. It's gonna clash. It's there's gonna be too much of a long cycle for them to be to adapt, right? But if you get someone who maybe they're 20%, 25% understanding your world, and then the rest is just understanding management and operations and systems, then it's a lot better than try to find someone who's really fully into your world and try to get them to become managers and operations people. It doesn't work, never, right? So But yeah, but I personally I literally posted on my Instagram. I was like, hey, I'm looking for someone to hire. I always found that hiring people who already know you and follow you and believe in your vision is the best way to do it. Whenever I try to hire outside, and it's like it just gets me people who are just lazy and people who are just there for a check.
Of course. Yeah, that's why building community is so important, right?
So much.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very useful insight. Thank you.
Yeah. Especially now that you're having a kid, bro, you need one ASAP.
Yeah, I was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take my best performing, like my best and involved media buyer and
Hmm.
scale him as a manager
Yeah.
and hire someone to replace him. But at the
Hmm.
same time, I need to challenge this guy because you know how it is, right? If he
Yeah.
doesn't
I
have
know.
the experience, it might end up being shit. So
I know. Yeah.
yeah, I will need one. I will need one. I will need one. But
Yeah.
those are
I mean,
the nice challenges. Yeah,
yeah, those are good problems to have.
yeah.
But yeah, I think you should still promote him so he can remove you from strategy, right? Because you should not, as a CEO, the first thing you need to remove yourself is customer service, customer support. The next thing is to remove yourself from having to do things like marketing and sales. The next thing is like remove yourself from strategy.
Hmm.
You should not be the one coming up with like, hey, let's do this funnel this way. You should not be, because it's like, yeah, it's valuable, but it's not really as it's you get to a point where you're making so much money that like you shouldn't be coming up with strategy because you're only one man team. Why would your
Mhm.
clients only be relying on you to find what's going to make them successful? You should have people whose sole job is what is working on all the campaigns, what are all the insights. I'm spending time listening to a podcast. I'm spending time finding out what's the new trend, and I'm bringing back to the team. That's a full-time job in and of itself, right?
Yeah.
So if you can get that senior guy to just focus on like, hey, improve our client results by just becoming the person who goes out into the world and finds out the best insights, and then you bring it back to the whole team and you create strategies. And then after that, then the next thing is like, remove yourself from managing people, or actually you remove yourself from managing, and then you remove yourself from strategy, and then you can literally remove yourself from being a CEO.
Yeah.
Right? So customer support, marketing and sales, managing, strategy. Strategy is kind of like the second to last that you need to remove yourself, and then the rest is like if you don't want to lead your company, you could just find someone to lead it for you, right? But yeah, no, but yeah,
Yeah.
find a manager, man, because your team also needs attention, man. Just like your clients need consistent updates. If you don't know why, if your team isn't happy, if your team isn't well, if they're not getting rich, your company's like it's good, but it's like it's only as good as how happy your people. When people are happy, bro, when they're happy, security, they're good, they'll do everything for you. But when you don't really get it, like for me, one of the reason why I had to hire someone is because I'm really bad with spending time. Like, it's like I'll come in and inspire people, but I'm not the best when it comes to like, hey, how are you feeling? Like, hey, why didn't you put this in this place? Like, no, like, please just do your job, right? So I had to bring someone in who can do that, who generally enjoys and thrives off of doing that, right? So I can focus on what I'm good at.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. For now, I was like trying to, fill in all the holes and catch everything up,
Yeah,
but it's going
100%.
crazy. It's not going to be possible. So yeah, thanks for the insights.
Yeah. No, thank you, man. Thank you so much. And yeah, man, you've been killing it. It's like the French market is yours. How is Dubai? Is it?
Dubai is good, man. A lot of things to do as well in terms of providing solutions to clients, right? So this is going to be the next gem I'm going to tap into, right? After the French market.
Mhm.
Um, Lifestyle is good. It's very safe, like a lot of security as well.
Mhm.
People are good as well, right? So it's amazing. You should come, man.
Yeah, I'm starting to think about it because no tax. Have you registered? You haven't registered your company yet, there, right?
Yeah, I have a
Is it
company
all
there. I have a company. Yeah.
okay? Do you get is your sales coming in and
Yeah, yeah.
in
I have
in
a Stripe and
AEE?
everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So No tax income.
No
Yeah.
tax? Oof,
Yeah, no
that
tax,
would
man.
be- Oh man, I would see myself living a crazy lifestyle if I was there with no taxes.
Yeah.
Because man, like I'm in Canada and sometimes I'd be looking at my paycheck. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Mm.
They're just stealing, bro. They're just taking advantage of me. But I may potentially start thinking about it, to be honest, because I think that now is probably the time. Because if I was to save 40% off of revenue, it's like literally doubling my income right away.
Yeah.
And I think you only have to spend what, 3 months there
So
to be.
you have to enter the country once every 6 months, right? Now, if you want to be considered as being a tax resident, then you have to spend 6 months in the country, right? Which are
Oh,
two different things. But what a lot of
interesting.
people do, no, sorry, what a lot of people do is that they just enter in the country once every 6 months, and
Mhm.
they just fly out to Thailand, let's say, right? And I mean, it's fine, right? They don't have any
Yeah.
issue because the UAE doesn't really care. It's more related to your home country that you might have issue if you don't remove yourself from there, right? If that makes sense.
So it's like if you go in Dubai and register everything, but you go back to Canada, that's a little tricky, right? You kind of can fly to other places, but not to your
Yes,
old. Interesting. So how frequent do you go to Belgium?
I go. I try to stay like maximum 3 months in Europe, right? And like I have there are some tricks. I won't share them like
On live.
on this podcast, right? But I can share them in GM. But like I know a lot of people, they come, they do some crazy things to get
Yeah.
back to Europe, like they swim and stuff. Like no, I'm just kidding. But no, but
Nice.
like to be honest, once you come to Dubai, you don't want to go back because, bro, you can literally automate your life, which is a big thing, right? You can literally have like an assistant, which will cost you like, let's say, 1.5K a month, sitting there all day long and just managing your life. Plus, a maid at home doesn't cost that much. It's like $700 to $800 per month,
Wow.
and she do all the meal prep, cleaning, taking care of the baby.
Interesting.
So you can remove this from your life and just focus on
On the
building things.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I may think about it, to be honest, because now it's like I'm just tired of these taxes here. Before I was a
Yeah.
little bit hesitant because I was like, moving away. I mean, I may not necessarily completely. I mean, I guess I would have to move, but I wouldn't necessarily spend a lot of my time in Dubai either. I would just maybe like max 3 months because I don't mind being with my family and being a little bit in the cold. But it's just that 30-40% of my money just going back to the government is a little ridiculous.
Hit me up once you want to come.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
I'll
sir.
share
I'll
around.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll start looking at research. I'll start look for a penthouse there and see if there's anything that can inspire me to move.
Of course.
Awesome. And no, I'll let you go. I know it's getting pretty late where you're at. But no, man, thank you so much. And do you want to leave people with some good one last piece of advice that you would have wanted to hear maybe a year ago or 2 years ago or a decade ago?
Yeah. So I would say that the first thing, the thing I wish I knew earlier is, getting attention is definitely key, right? So follow Serge's advice because I mean, he's sharing a lot about it. Now, in terms of fulfillment, I'm getting a lot of message from people asking me, "Hey, what's my niche? What's my offer? What's this? What's that?" It doesn't really matter because if I had to do the same thing in another niche, I would still I don't want to sound like I'm flexing, but I will find a way to make the same results because you have to stick to one niche that you enjoy and love and understand people's problem and being good. You have to be good at solving them. That's the only thing that matters, right?
Yes.
Because we don't have any website yet. We only rely on referrals. We run some ads. Now we are about to set up a growth team and really scale all things up. But still we had some good results, right? So focus on
client
getting your clients
success.
happy, right? Yeah.
Yeah. No, man. Yeah. I mean, when you mentioned your offer that it's now an offer that looks at all the facets that would keep your clients from not winning and that you guys are solving it in-house, I was like,
Mm.
perfect. This is beautiful. I like to say you're my twin now.
Yeah,
We're
bro.
twins. We're twins now. I love it. I love it. No, man. Thank you so much. And man, I'm excited. Congrats. And again, I'd love to, let us know how everything goes when you have your
Of
baby.
course.
And this summer, let's conjoin the client retreat, man.
Oh, thank you, man.
Please.
Of course.
Yeah. We're gonna probably do it sometimes in the summer. I don't know yet where it should be. I don't know if it should be in Europe. Where could we go where there is beautiful weather, beautiful cars, and beautiful people?
I would say Spain or Portugal, man.
Portugal, yeah, Spain.
Yeah.
We've been to
Yeah.
Spain, but you know what? One thing I'd love to do is like I was looking at a client of mine sent me like in Switzerland, like you could go for like pay a few G's and go for an experience where you guys drive through the mountains and for like so I was like, could that be something fun where we like go and then we drive around for like a few days for a weekend and then we go back to maybe somewhere south and then we just go to the villa and then come back down and just stay there for like a week or so. So I'm trying to figure out like what would be a good trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will send you some insights about it because I had like a good experience between Switzerland and Italy. So yeah, it might be a good idea as well.
I love it. I love it. Please do so.
Yeah,
all right, cool, man. Thank you
course.
so much for jumping on and have a beautiful day and have a beautiful weekend.
Thank you, man.
Speak soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thank you for watching my video. One thing that I want to ask you is please like, comment, subscribe, and share it with the people in your circle, people who can find this content helpful. And before you actually leave, I have a 5 days to 50K a month program with the right offers, the right mindset, decision-making, training, everything you need when it comes to scaling an agency, high-ticket coaching or consulting business past 50K per month, from the client acquisition systems to how to actually scale and sustain scale. If you want to access it, click the link below. Yeah, find it helpful.